Take those steps. Be on your way. Take those steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine.
And we are shining on the ranch tonight. Thank you, everyone that's chiming in and watching tonight. If you're watching, always say hello because this is interactive and we'd love to hear from you. This is The Ranch, and it is brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, a really cool platform that not only has our podcast, but has all kinds of different other podcasts and radio stations. It's a great spot for indie artists to showcase their music. So check it out and make sure you sign up. We also are sponsored by To The Max Advertising. Their emails right there, streaming across Hotel Universe for all your video needs. And we are also being streamed in indie music radio in France, which I think is really cool. So I have to say hello to all my friends in France. And it's appropriate. We are going across the pond tonight. I am always spanning the globe for the best in indie Americana music and country music. And I find it in the coolest places. You know, we've been to Canada. It's not our first time in the UK. I'm hoping we have some people from France that are going to chime in and we can work out a time for you guys to come on the show. But today we're actually heading back to the UK, and it's always interesting to get their spin on country Americana music. Okay, so without further ado, we're going across the pond for Ritchie and Deborah Porter.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
We're great, aren't we? Thanks for having us on the show. It's lovely to speak to you after such a long time since I catch up in Georgia in August. It was great to see you there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic to meet you in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. And that was our first time in Atlanta.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
Did you just stay in Georgia? Were you tooling around?
Yes, we were a little bit, actually, weren't we? One of the really nice judges, Emo LeBlanc, he actually took us for a great trip into Atlanta City.
He did, yes.
Took us to the Waffle House, which we enjoyed,
Olympic
and we walked
Park.
around the Centenary Park. That was amazing, and we really enjoyed it, didn't we?
We did.
So he looked after us, bless him, good old Emo.
Yeah, I remember I had a Texas bacon with chili there, which I really never tried before, because they don't have it in the UK.
We know how to live wildly, don't we?
Yeah, with the Waffle House. That's funny, but I know that our bacon is famous in England. You guys call it streaky bacon, right?
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. We really like it because it's all crispy.
Absolutely.
It's just how you like it, isn't it?
Yes, it was. I was very impressed.
Really nice.
I could probably eat that every day.
I have a lot of friends in the UK. I watch an inordinate amount of Brit TV over here in the States whenever I can get it. I had Midsummer Murders on just before I came on.
Yeah.
But, I have some friends and they were telling me about the whole streaky bacon situation in the UK. So.
Yeah, we just don't tend to get that over here. We sort of have the thicker cut back bacon, they call it, but the streaky bacon's the best stuff, definitely. You like that, don't you?
Oh, we probably see the real thing running around every day because we live on farmland. I mean, we did have, it's all gone now, but we did have some really severe floods like a few days ago.
Yeah, we did.
But we live at the top of a hill in the middle of the countryside, in the heart of the countryside, where there's just farmland quite high up. And there's a place called Earl's Hill, which used to be an active volcano millions of years ago. But basically, there was some really bad floods in Shropshire, but fortunately, it's all receded now. But we were walking around in our Wellingtons, wading through rivers of water.
Of loveliness, Wellington boots, yes.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately,
the epitome of elegance. But there you go.
We don't have any gators here.
No.
I mean, the worst thing we'd probably get is a bite off a fish called a pike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They can be nasty.
But we haven't seen any of them, have we?
No.
That area by Atlanta was hit, the Florida on up to Atlanta.
I know.
two
The
hurricanes.
hurricanes.
They were
Yeah, I
under
mean,
water.
it was nothing like that.
No.
That was terrible. And we've actually, in fact, one of the ISA members, Rich Allen, you probably met him. I mean, he's a great guy, and he was hit very badly and lost a lot of things.
We were very concerned about
awful.
everyone in Atlanta.
Especially because we've made so many nice friends over there as well. It sort of touches you personally then, doesn't it? So it's horrible.
we were seeing it on the
nothing
news
compared
daily.
To that. Dreadful.
You know.
Yeah.
And well, the last 20. My family, the last 24 Class Music 24/7. Troy's in Florida, and D-Ray is, I think he's still in Atlanta, that area, and they were out of power for a while, but everyone was all right. So you're checking in, and you're not hearing anything. It's like, are they just floating away?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
really
the thing. Yeah, it sort of keeps you on edge because you want to know what's happening and making sure people are all right, don't you?
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a hard season. It's not even over yet. So I hope it is for them. But
I hope so.
Really hard times. But you know what? I find times like that, music gets me through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It sort of brings everyone together, doesn't it?
Music is the greatest healer. I always think, I mean, many years ago, I had cancer, and it was music that I believe saved me as much as chemotherapy. When you go through the toughest, most frightening times in your life, such as having cancer, which is very scary.
I know.
Music is a great healer. Yeah, it's a great healer. And I remember this was in 2012 I had it, and I recorded an instrumental called Morphine Blues.
Only you would do that.
Which was actually recorded in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on the chemotherapy ward with the permission of the doctors. And that became a number 4 in Australia in the Independent Banks radio chart at the time, back in 2012 or 2014, whenever it was.
Yeah. This is Banks, because I love Banks radio. I actually do really well on Banks and Galaxy over in New Zealand.
Yeah,
we've been very popular there, and we've had
been very supportive.
About 13 number ones and about 2 number 2s.
Yeah, which is brilliant.
They've been
really
huge supporters of Richie Day Porter, Deborah Susan original music from the very beginning. Yeah. And our first album, we recorded that and we released it in
2022, I think it was.
2022, the first album came out, and altogether we've done 17 original singles, and a lot of it's Southern country rock blues, or it certainly is now. And I think the first few singles were kind of hard rock, and then they were sort of more blues and blues jazz.
We sort of found our niche as we went along. Didn't
I mean, like the river and the preacher, the girl next door. We're getting married in the morning. The cool September rain is definitely 100% the Southern country rock blues kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's fine. Okay, so a lot of information there going back to the cancer. I mean, again, very trying to go through. Very trying. And you're in remission, everything.
I'm 100% clear. I mean, I had 5 years I was diagnosed 2012, had the chemotherapy for 3 months. It took me about a year to fully recover, but I was just playing 4, 5, 6 hours of guitar every day, and I recorded a few solo albums at the time, and I got through it. And I had a lot of different people, like doctors, spiritual friends, like there were. Some of my friends were like Buddhist priests. Some of my friends were like Christian priests. And they were all saying prayers for me at the time. And I believe there's a great power in prayer, especially when there's a group of people praying for someone. I think that can work wonders for people. It creates a powerful energy that can facilitate healing.
Right.
Well, something obviously worked, didn't it? Because luckily you got through it all, didn't you? So
yeah. I mean, I say to people, I think it was a combination of God and Jimi Hendrix. The music of Jimi Hendrix and the prayers,
that helped as well,
the Christian prayers and Buddhist mantras and all that people did. Because I'm their friend, and they were worried about me at the time. But I remember listening to a lot of, well, I still do, a lot of Jimi Hendrix, a lot of Led Zeppelin. those are probably the biggest influences on me as a guitar player.
Yeah.
And always will be, alongside Texas blues legend Stevie Ray Vaughan. I always mention Stevie Ray Vaughan because he's a huge influence on me also. And I wouldn't play like I do if it wasn't for Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, and Stevie Ray Vaughan as primary influences. And I've took what, made it my own.
This is really interesting. A couple months ago, I went to the All Outlaw Festival out in Hershey Park, and Robert Plant was playing with the Alison Krauss. And I got to tell you, you're waiting for a Led Zeppelin song, right? But they rearranged his songs. It took you a minute to go, oh, that's Led Zeppelin. And they actually kind of folked it out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
We worked it with Alison Krauss on the fiddle, and sounded so good.
They're really good, aren't they? I mean, I think with the last Led Zeppelin reunion in 2007, I think basically Robert Plant had said to Jimmy Page, let's do one last Led Zeppelin show. And they did, on the condition that Jimmy Page didn't do like 20-minute guitar solos anymore. And they kept it like the Zeppelin studio released albums and records. And then after that, Robert just wanted to do his own thing, really. And he returned to doing stuff with Alison Krauss and also Saving Grace. We saw Saving Grace.
We saw them in Birmingham.
That was very good.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yeah, we went to see Saving Grace. Robert
totally different to Led Zeppelin, obviously.
That was very folky.
But we enjoyed it.
That was very folky.
It was different.
But people always, people forget that Led Zeppelin, half of Led Zeppelin was very folky acoustic music. I mean, like nearly all of Led Zeppelin 3 was folky acoustic songs like Tangerine and Bronny R. Stomp and all of that. You put on Led Zeppelin 3 and most people tend to think Immigrant Song or Since I've Been Loving You, which are epics. Yeah. But there was far more to Led Zeppelin than just hard rock or rock blues.
Right.
And we've always really liked them. But we opened
the John Bonham festivals, didn't we?
The International John Bonham Celebration Festivals in Redditch, which is the hometown of John Bonham.
Yeah.
And we opened the John Bonham International Festival 2 and 3. And they were incredible festivals. There was lots and lots of people there. There was us performing. There was Eric Bell from Thin Lizzy performing. There was Coda, one of the world's best Led Zeppelin tributes, and they really are good. They're really, really good. And we went down really well. People loved what we did, and we became friends with Dave Lewis, and he's the author of Tight But Loose, the official Led Zeppelin magazine.
Yeah,
we actually appeared.
Cool, isn't it?
We even got a mention in Tight But Loose, the official Led Zeppelin magazine.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks to Dave Lewis, the editor, which was very nice.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
It's great.
Now, you guys, I mean, you're some classic roots background, and you love your Led Zeppelin. When you were sick, you were listening to it. But your musical style is definitely leaning country.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm a big fan of things like Sweet Home Alabama and all that sort of music. I love it. And I remember when we came, I always start by writing everything on guitar. And some of our most popular sort of southern country rock blues kind of songs, like The River and the Preacher, The Girl Next Door, The Cool September Rain, We're Getting Married in the Morning. Everyone who listens to it does say, this is country rock music. This is country rock music. Or they say it's country folky rock music, but it is. And
that's sort of our different influences, because we've both got slightly different backgrounds, haven't we, in sort of music we've listened to. I mean, you listen to a lot of Led Zeppelin. I mean, I listened right across the board. I'm a huge fan of music theatre, and I actually trained and sort of did that side of it, so opera, music theatre. So we both have slightly different backgrounds, and Ritchie always comes up with all the background and the guitar riffs and the structure, and then presents it to me, and then I come up with the melody over the top and the lyrics. And I think probably some of it sounds a bit country, probably because of some of the things I've listened to, so my influences. So I think the meshing of the two, somehow it seems to work, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also Yeah, it does. And you spent time in North Carolina years
Yeah, I
ago
did.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked. I studied law years ago, despite being a musician. So I was a law grad originally, and I spent time in Asheville, in North Carolina, working with clients on death row at the Buncombe County Courthouse in Asheville, which was amazing. I was over there for about 3 months. And I enjoyed it so much. I went back again in the November of the same year. This is a long time ago. I mean, it's 1996, so I'm showing my age. I was only about 25. Obviously, I'm considerably older now. But I think because the experiences I had spending time and temporarily living over there, that then coloured some of the lyrics that I wrote as well. So when I wrote a lot of the songs, like The Girl Next Door, it sort of had like an Americana country feel to it, because I remembered things that had happened in the States, and I think that definitely influenced some of the songwriting.
Yeah, because
those experiences.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of the songs, they're always recorded with Telecasters, which are obviously world famous American guitars that have been around since 1950. And the Telecaster is the primary guitar for country music, as everyone knows. So you get Telecasters used for country music, southern rock music, blues. You know, everyone from Eric Clapton to you know, B.B. King has played Telecasters, and Jimmy Page, and Jeff Beck. You know, I love them. But a lot of the songs were actually written on acoustics, and especially living in the countryside. When you're sitting outside in the countryside and you're playing an acoustic guitar, and I'm start tapping my foot. When I came up with like We're Getting Married in the Morning, and that riff, it's like that kind of, you know, you feel like you're just, you know, clapping your hands and you're dancing around the barn. So it's going to have that country vibe
quite instantly, don't we? As well, like for me to do the melody and the lyrics over the top, it all has to be an instant thing. So obviously, like melody and lyrics are all written at the same time, and I have to be able to do it immediately, usually within about 15 minutes. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. If I had to go away and think about it, it just wouldn't work. So I listen to what he does, and then I'll start. Basically, based on what he plays, I imagine what it's about. I can see it, if you know what I mean. Then I colour it, and then at that point, then I do the lyrics and the melody. Usually, just starts with the first verse and chorus. As long as I've got the first verse and chorus, then I can build on it after that. But it's always done really quickly.
Yeah, and I'm always.
Otherwise, it wouldn't work, would it? It wouldn't for me. I don't think.
I mean, on the opposite side of it, I mean, Deborah writes the lyrics and melodies very quickly to the chord structures and riffs that I compose.
It's only because I can hear it.
But I will spend I spend ages alone writing chord structures and riffs, you know, obsessively for hours and hours and hours, and rearranging it, and then thinking, I'm going to change this bit here. I can improve it, because I hear it all in my head. You know, I hear it all in my head first, and then fortunately, I can pick up a guitar and replicate what I hear in my head, like straight away. And then it all starts with some catchy riffs, and it starts off with some catchy chords. Put the riffs and the chords together, creates like some sort of meaty structure. And then you've got some, you know, southern country rock blues that's original, and people from all over the world seem to, you know, really enjoy it, and it's done really well in magazines and radio and everything, and obviously let's not forget the International Singer-Songwriters Association.
I mean, that was the highlight of our year. That I mean, to come over there and to actually win a silver award is just absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Incredible. And to meet all of you at the pre-party as well.
We've got such lovely friends now, and that's part of it.
Yeah, to meet you.
Brilliant. Networking alone, it's just an amazing experience. All these indie artists coming together.
It's just incredible.
And we loved it. I mean, to win the International Duo of the Year Silver Award and be presented with that at Sandy Springs Performing Arts Centre in Atlanta, Georgia, USA was just one of the highlights of my life. I think.
It was amazing.
You know, because I've been in so many magazines and done so many radio shows throughout my life, but that's actually the first time I've been presented with an award.
I mean, you couldn't have done it.
I've been in like,
because it had to be the two of us, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've you know, for years now, I've been in like, you know, Fireworks Rock and Metal magazine, Blues Matters magazine, Blues in Britain magazine. We've been on the front cover of Blues in the South magazine, and we've had all these editors of magazines and journalists say absolutely wonderful things about our original Southern country rock blues music.
Which is lovely.
But I've never received an award.
No. And especially to come to the States and to get one in America. It's so much better to get an award in America.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so few organizations that are really supporting indie artists in that way, and recognizing who's working really hard. And you know, indie music takes up 40% of the market.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much, you know, big records ignores us, except they're buying all the streaming, the platforms.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they're not supporting us in any other way. They're trying to profit from us. And,
yeah, I know.
And we get so little, and here we are, just this award. You just want to cry, like, oh, somebody, you know.
It was amazing.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
When we
wasn't
got
it?
back to the UK, obviously we'd filmed it, and obviously the ISSA filmed it too, and I was able to put it on social media all over the place. And the Shropshire Stars, like a major newspaper over here, they got in touch with us, and they wanted to do a big article on us, and they did. And as soon as Deborah went out and bought the newspaper, and it's like very popular paper that sells hundreds of thousands of copies. And we even went to, we were doing food shopping in Shropshire.
Yeah, we got recognised.
And we were just in the queuing up to buy food, and then the lady on the cash register in Asda, she's like, "You're famous. I read about you in the Shropshire Star. You're the Shropshire couple that went to Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and you won a major music business award." Yeah. And I went, "Yes, we did. Yeah." And I went, "Thank you very much." I said, "And how much do I owe you for the cornflakes?"
It's pretty cool though, isn't it? Definitely. Brilliant.
It was very good. It was wonderful.
We're still on a high from the whole experience, aren't we?
Yeah.
We nice. Also enjoyed all the partying as well, all the pre-parties and the after parties, and there was jamming round the pool with all the other musicians. That was just incredible. That was brilliant. All the jamming round the pool
to me was a highlight. You know, because it was getting to hear what everybody does. You know,
it was brilliant. It was amazing.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. I remember there was one classic jam session I had with Megan.
Megan, she's an amazing violinist.
She's a virtuoso violinist, a fantastic player.
She was just jamming into everything you
and
did.
I just started playing. You know, Rich Allen was like, "Hey, I don't have my guitar with me." To take a guitar, I probably would have had to pay another £3,000 to pay for a seat for it on the plane.
Or you'd have to leave me at home.
So Rich Allen, he's a lovely guy. He just said, "Hey, I'll get you my guitar." So he brought me his acoustic, and he's looking forward to me playing it. And I just started playing an instrumental I did a long time ago called "Fast Train Rolling." It's like a party,
very fast,
like a party piece. It's kind of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of vibe, you know, like Stevie Ray Vaughan meets Hendrix kind of guitar thing. I started playing that. And then people were really enjoying it and digging it. And then Megan just started playing the violin, and that was filmed.
Brilliant.
And people were really, really enjoying that jam session. I mean, it was filmed and it's been uploaded to some social medias. A lot of people really enjoy that because it's like, you know, you got this British blues country rock guitarist from the UK jamming with a great USA violinist, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and the partying was great. I mean.
Too much alcohol, too much food, and too many good times, but amazing. It was incredible.
Welcome to America.
I felt like it was Steve Tyler.
I know. Don't think I had as much fun in my 20s.
We need to listen to songs right now. We got to listen to some of your music.
Yeah,
definitely.
The one you talked about was "We're Getting Married in the Morning." So we're going to listen to that. We're going to see the video right now.
Brilliant. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll take a slow walk. Church bells are gonna chime. We're getting married in the morning.
And we are back on the ranch. We are produced by Blast Music 24/7, the one stop for indie artists. And you guys should really check them out. It's a great place for to network, to showcase your music. They really are good to indie artists, so it's a good thing to check out. Hotel Universe. We are on Roku Radio, Roku TV, and we are on. It was to be streamed in France with Indie Music Radio. So
awesome.
Coming at you from a lot of different platforms. We're live right now on a couple different sites, and it's interactive. I know a couple people are watching. So if you have any feedback for Ritchie and Deborah, just put it in the chat and we can see it and we can respond. So now we are back. So was that your wedding dress?
Yes, it was. Yes, and for Forever the Businesswoman, it was filmed on the actual day. So we actually did an impromptu performance in the garden, and our producer and very good friend Michael Tingle was the best man, and we got him to film some of it.
That's right.
And then we turned it into the actual music video, didn't we? So yes, so we actually wrote the song for our wedding. We thought it was a nice idea to do something like that.
We wrote it for the wedding.
Yeah, we did.
We actually
performed it on the day.
Performed it at the wedding. After we got the day of the wedding, we performed it in the grounds in the Cotswolds, in front of the Blues Matters magazine editor and his wife and all the guests,
family and friends,
all family and friends. And it was fantastic. But we actually filmed part of the official music video, quite a large part, on our wedding day. So it was a wedding, and it was an acoustic performance. It was all rolled into one. And even when I walked Deborah down the aisle, the registrar said to me, "Could you play some beautiful guitar for us?" And I said, okay. So as I walked Deborah down the aisle, and Deborah was in a wedding dress, and I was wearing what I was wearing, and I was wearing like a cross between Jimmy Page and Al Pacino, and that was my look, and I was playing like some acoustic as we walked down the aisle, and then we got married.
Nerve-wracking. I mean, it's probably nerve-wracking enough for him to get married, let alone having to play the guitar at the same time.
Well,
I mean,
that was another thing. I mean, on the wedding day, I had to do a 20-minute acoustic performance. When Deborah went to see the registrars, I mean, when you're in the UK, I don't know how it is over there, you have to answer all these questions, otherwise they don't let you get married. You know.
How frightening.
And while Deborah was having to answer all these questions just before the wedding, everyone's sitting there in their chairs. And I was asked by the registrars to do an acoustic performance, and I said, on my wedding day, and they said, yeah. I said, okay, how long do you want me to play for? And they said about 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
So I said, okay. I said, I don't like to sing anymore, but I can come up with quite a few instrumentals, and I did a lot of I did quite a few instrumentals that I've written that were on past albums, and then I did an acoustic version of Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child, and I also did an acoustic version of Stairway to Heaven Led Zeppelin, which I thought was nice to do at the wedding, prior to the wedding, minutes before, and people were really enjoying that. And I always said, well, everyone says don't play Stairway to Heaven, but you know what?
Awesome.
I think people kind of expected me to do it, so I did, and it was really nice to do. You know how
many guys probably have that dream of playing guitar, walking down the aisle, like that fantasy of doing that. You just have lived like everyone's fantasy dream wedding right there.
It was just so lovely. I think the only difficult thing, it was quite a narrow door, and it's not that I'm 50 foot wide, but to navigate with Ritchie on one side and the dress and the guitar to get through the door was quite difficult.
Yeah.
We had to maneuver carefully, didn't we?
Right.
There's a bit of an art to it, but it was amazing, wasn't it?
It was an incredible wedding. I mean, it's in the Cotswolds. I mean, we live in Shropshire, which is the countryside here. And we got married in the Cotswolds countryside in a stately home, and it was a very extravagant.
Can you explain to everyone where that is? Can you explain to everyone in the US where that is?
Well, basically, you've got in the UK, a lot of people I spoke to over there would say, oh, they've heard of London or they've heard of places like that. London's like this massive, huge, sprawling metropolis city down south.
Yeah.
Right, much further up north, in the middle of the UK,
sort of in the centre.
In the centre of the UK is the majority of the countryside. Such you have like the Shropshire countryside, you have the Cotswolds countryside. And it's all very beautiful. There's hundreds of miles of countryside and
beautiful honeycomb buildings
towns
and old-fashioned tea rooms, and it's just very quintessentially English, very British, very traditional, quite old-fashioned.
And then,
lots of sheep.
And then, so that's in the centre. So you've got the Shropshire countryside right in the heart of the UK. And there's just like farmland and hills, and there's Shrewsbury town centre, which is a quaint little town.
Yeah.
And we're about 6 miles from there. And then to the east of us, you've got Wales, which is in England.
Sort of on the
so we're about
Wales,
half an hour from Wales.
Yeah, I've been to Wales.
Yeah. So Wales is half an hour away from us. We actually performed in Wales a couple of days ago in North Wales, and it was really good. We did a really good concert there.
Although we had to drive, I had to drive because Ritchie doesn't drive. It was about an hour and 50 minutes, but we can't complain because all our American friends, we had some friends that came to visit us from Illinois, and they travelled when we were in Atlanta 7 hours to come and visit us. Yeah. So I can't complain at driving less than 2 hours, really.
I drove 4 hours. I drove 4 hours on Saturday to get to a gig up in upstate New York in Rochester.
Oh my goodness, yes. It seems to be something that you all do.
Yeah.
Whereas the British were a bit nervous of driving too far. If we've gone 2 hours, it's like, oh no, we can't do any more.
No, it's true.
We need to take a leaf out of your book, I think. Don't we?
I think in the UK we tend not to drive too much. We if it's a long distance, then we tend to catch trains. Because we're lazy. It's all very English, right?
That's smart. I mean, if I had a train going up there, I probably would have. We don't have the train system that you guys do.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, when we were in Atlanta, we had no idea how far Sandy Springs was from Atlanta Airport. So we got on the train there, and it just took us directly there. But it took quite a while. I mean, it was about 10 stops from Atlanta Airport to Sandy Springs.
Yes. We also had to get on that massive big bus
at
the airport, which took a while. And then I thought, oh, my goodness, where's it taking us? We seemed to go miles.
Yeah.
But it was the other end of the airport. And then we caught the train, didn't we?
Yeah.
But we got there. That's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, the only thing I thought that was quite amusing was when we first arrived at the airport. And these things can happen. I mean, maybe it's because I wear a bandana or something.
I think they must have
I wanted to arrive in the UK looking rock and roll. I'm here for the ISSA Awards. I'm a finalist. I want to look rock and roll. I don't want to look like I'm going to the office.
You'll never look like you're going to the office.
So we're walking. We just literally got off the airport and
after a 9-hour flight.
9-hour flight, really tired, and cleared security, no problem, no issues. And then just as I was about to exit, there was like a police officer, and he's like, hey buddy, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I'm here for the ISSA Awards. And he was like, I've just asked you, who are you here to visit? And I was like, well, I'm here to be a finalist at Sandy Springs Performing Arts Centre. And he went, and then he asked me the same question again. What's in the suitcase? What do you got in the suitcase? Who are you here to visit?
Have you got food? Have you got money?
Yeah. Have you got money? You got food? And I just thought, well, I haven't done anything wrong. I just kept repeating myself. I'm here for the ISSA Awards, and maybe I'll win something. And then he just looked at me and he went, just go through the exit. Go on. Get out of here.
So I think next time maybe he needs to wear an English bowler hat.
Yeah, maybe.
And then he won't be stopped.
Wear a bowler hat and an umbrella.
You walk into Iceland and a sea of cowboy hats, right?
Yeah. Maybe they've been all right in one of them. I think it was the bandana.
I think it's because I usually wear bandanas and... I mean,
must have looked like a drug dealer or something.
One of my American friends joked I kind of look like a biker or something.
Yeah.
And I used to actually work in biker bars in the UK years ago. I used to have my own rock night where I used to perform, and I was a DJ. And there was a bar that I used to work in that was a biker's bar called Quenchers. And there was never any trouble. And it was in Birmingham city centre many, many, many years ago. in the 90s, and it was just full of Harley Davidsons. And maybe I've had that kind of look ever since then.
You just look very suspicious.
I mean, I tend to wear denim more than leather anyway. I usually wear like American trucker jackets that are made of denim with fleece inside.
That's where he went wrong, isn't it? The bandana and the trucker jacket.
Oh yes, but even then, that wasn't that bad. I mean, it was just a bit of a surprise. I mean,
well, it was your first time in America as well, and he said to me, "Is it always like
what a great welcome from us?
You were just unlucky."
Well, guys, we need to hear another one of your songs. Cool September Rain.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Real quick, what's that about?
Well,
that again. Well, I wrote the lyrics, but to be honest, that was influenced because of us living in the countryside. So we filmed a lot of it out here, and we decided to release it in September because England, it's always raining in September in England, in the UK. So we thought we'd release it then. So yeah, so it was written about a theme of the countryside. So when Ritchie and I met, we were living in the city. I didn't like living in the city, so it's a little bit about that. Take me away to the country where the sky is so blue and all that sort of thing. Yeah. So it was influenced from previous experience, and of course we moved to the countryside. So that's sort of what it was written about.
Yeah.
You know, I find that a lot of country artists have their one song about where they want to be. And
yes,
you guys want to be in the countryside, even with the cool September
rain. That's sort of what it's about. Absolutely, complete with our umbrellas.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when I wrote the chord structures that Deborah was presented with, and then Deborah came up with the vocal melodies, the lyrics.
Yeah, she didn't know what I was going to write about.
I had no idea. I never do have any idea what she's going to write the lyrics about, because I just sit there. But when I get little visions in my head when I write the chord structures and riffs, etc., and the licks and solos and things. And at the time, I was thinking of like haystacks in the countryside, driving past haystacks, and then having a massive barbecue and beers. You know, when I was coming up with that sort of southern country rock riff.
So weirdly, it's the sort of theme, a similar thing, and yet we've not spoken to each other about this, had we? But we find we do that sometimes, don't we? He writes something. I say, well, what were you imagining then? Oh, I was imagining cowboys and cowgirls in a bar. Well, actually, I was going to write a thing about a bar, and I come up with the lyrics, and somehow it matches, doesn't it? It's really weird. I don't know. We must be tuned into each other, I think.
Well, that's why we're married.
That's why we're married. All right, let's give a listen to Cool September Rain.
Cool September rain.
And we are back on the ranch. We span the globe for the best in Americana and country. We're coming at you from the UK tonight. You can find us on Roku TV, and you can hear us with indie music radio coming out of France. If you want to be on the show, if you're an Americana country act, you can go to my website, Randie O'Neil. Randie, you have to spell right, RandieOneil.com/shows. Fill out the form and we can get you here on the ranch. Brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. That was Cool September Rain, Ritchie Dave, and Deborah Susan. How you guys doing? Now it's late there, man. We're pushing 1 o'clock over there, right? What you know, it's 8:15 here. It is 1:15 a.m. in
Oh
UK.
my goodness me! Absolutely. Can
coffee to stay awake, just so they can hang out with you guys tonight. So they'd love to hear where you're calling from. I know I got some viewers, so if you want some feedback for Ritchie and Deb, put it in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
Brilliant.
That's fantastic. That's Max. He's the main coon cat. He has to be involved in everything.
We decided we love the States that much. We thought we'd buy an American cat. So he's a Maine Coon kitten. He's 4 months old. And he's growing like mad. He's very nosy and into everything.
And he likes to sit on my shoulders.
Like a parrot.
Like a parrot. It's one of his things.
If he's a nuisance, we'll stick him in the other room.
Yeah.
Unless he starts jumping on you have your nice tripod
Exactly.
That's
we'll keep an eye on that.
It's beautiful right now. Right? All of a sudden I go,
he's a good boy. He likes to be involved in everything. He follows us around like a little dog.
Yes.
Except obviously he's going to be a very big cat. I think that they grow to about 3.5, 4 feet long when they're mature.
The mountain coon, you said?
Maine Coon,
Maine Coon, yes.
Maine Coon. My sister's got 2.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
He's beautiful, he is.
He's only 4 months old.
Everything.
4 months old, and he's on his way to being the size of a puma.
I have a Cocker Spaniel. Your cat's going to be the size of my Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, they're beautiful as well, aren't they? I like those. Oh.
If you're quiet, you can actually hear my dog snoring. He's been in shows. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to hear him in the background. He is snoring so loud. It's really ridiculous.
I think animals, they just bring so much joy to life.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Whether they're dogs, whether they're cats, whether they're horses, whatever, I mean, animals bring us so much joy and love, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And I've always valued people that love animals.
Yes, I'm always just, if anyone doesn't like animals, then I'll be very suspicious.
If people don't like animals, I'm very suspicious.
I got suspect right away. I'm like,
exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
If someone doesn't like dogs and cats, then generally I don't like them.
Fair enough, isn't it?
It's true.
It is.
Yeah. I'd understand if they're, savaged by a tiger or something.
Well, yes,
then you kind of understand.
You don't get many of them running around the Shropshire countryside, fortunately.
Imagine it. I don't like cats, big cats. Well, why is that? Because I was mauled by a tiger in India.
Yeah, that would be a bit different.
that's excusable.
Right. Mauled by a cat. All right, I get you. I was bit by a dog. Now I'm scared.
That's it. Other than that.
I'll give them that.
Oh, dear.
It's been a very creative time for us. I mean, we've been writing a lot of other material as well. We just sit around. Everything starts on the acoustic. I come up with a Southern country rock blues riffs. I try, present it to you. Deborah always surprises me. There's a lot of material that's in progress at the moment that we want to record. That's not released or recorded, and it will be in the future. There's quite a stack of songs that are building up now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were to release a second album, it would have to be a double album.
Yeah.
There's so much material.
Yeah.
You know what? Nowadays, people just drop singles like every other month,
That's what we do.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, we sort of almost enjoy doing that more, don't we? Because it keeps it more current, and then we can release something, and then our style changes a little bit as we develop. And we change things slightly.
I mean, there's always going to be some blues in there because I'm a blues-based guitarist. Because Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix and Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck, their rock guitar work was based on the blues. That's what they influenced them firstly, and then they took it so much further.
But a lot of the journalists have said that, like you said at the beginning, that a lot of what I do, it's more country.
Well, it is.
Because of that type of voice, I think.
There's a magazine that's really good, that's online, that's received a lot of acclaim everywhere, called Rock the Joint magazine, and that was the people who set that up. It was set up by B.B. King's daughter, you know, and they did a big interview with us for that, and we've been in that magazine many times. The whole point of Rock the Joint magazine was to identify and promote independent artists that are making waves, as they call it, you know, and they've been great, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
But they described Deborah as their own word. If I remember, it said Deborah is country and Ritchie is blues all the way, and they meet each other halfway and it explodes.
Well, that's quite nice, isn't it?
Again, we got to get this last song in. We're running out of time.
Okay.
I mean, it might be the first time I don't get 3 songs in. That's with me on the pale moon. Talk to me about that.
Okay, yeah. So we actually filmed that at a place called Mitch's Fold, which was sort of out towards Bishop's Castle in the Shropshire countryside, sort of mystical. And again, when I heard that song, I imagined people sort of dancing in like an eerie way, and so it was written about that, Dance With Me in the Pale Moonlight. It's almost got like a sort of medieval vibe to it, I think. So we chose
quite folky.
Folky, yeah,
folky,
medievally folky sort of vibe. Yeah. So we chose 2 special locations, didn't we? One was at an historic house that looks a little bit gothic, which you'll see on the video, and the other one, I say, was up at Mitch's Fold. So it sort of had that sort of eerie quality to it.
Yeah, and Mitch's Fold, it was it's actually a prehistoric 3,000-year-old Bronze Age historical site in Shropshire, in the hill, high up in the hills. It's really cold up there.
Really cold.
And when we filmed that video, I was freezing.
As I was.
I don't like the cold.
No.
And it was really cold up there. The wind was blowing and it was really harsh. Not like where we live here, but it's actually in the same district, really. It's in Shropshire, but very high up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like desolation lands up there.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Let's see this. This is a really cool backdrop. You did pick some really interesting sites for this one. So let's give this Dance With Me in the Pale Moon.
I would go to the ends of the earth for you. I climb the highest mountain just to be with you. Take my hand, hold me tight, dance with me in the pale moonlight. Take my hand, hold me tight, dance with me in the pale moonlight. Every breath I take for you. Every waking moment I think of you. Take my hand, hold me tight, dance with me in the pale moonlight. Take my hand, hold me tight, dance with me in the pale moonlight. Never met anyone quite like you. There's nothing in this world that I wanna do for you. Take my hand,
Oh, and that's a fun one. We are on the ranch, hanging out across the pond in the UK. Ritchie, Dave, and Deborah Susan.
Hi.
We only have a few more minutes. God, we almost didn't get the last song in there, which is so much fun. But we did. Real quick, what do you got? I know you're working on some new songs that haven't been recorded, but you're going to be releasing some singles soon.
Hopefully. I mean, we got to do a few more recording sessions, and then we'll sort out the release dates. We were even thinking of recording a Christmas song.
If we do that, we're going to have to get on with that rapidly.
Yeah, but we may run out of time for that one. If we do, we do.
You kind of missed the window. Yeah. Everyone sets their playlist by the end of November.
Yeah, I think we've missed the window for that one, to be honest. Maybe next year, but we'll record it ready for next year. So you're all just going to have another Southern rock country blues, which is what we're best at anyway.
I'm releasing one. It's just dropping, and the video just finished, so that's going to be up. It's kind of a country swamp.
Nice.
About the adults at a party wondering if Santa's going to cross her off the list.
So if they'd have seen us partying with the ISSA, we'd have definitely been crossed off the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Well, that's the thing with music. You have to party sometimes.
Absolutely.
That's why I was never a Cliff Richard fan, because he wasn't a party rock and roller, was he?
Not really. No, it's got to be Steven Tyler. You'd have more fun with him, definitely.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Aerosmith. I mean, Steve Tyler. I mean, he's done a country album now as well, hasn't he? He did a country album.
So many artists have gone country.
Yeah. And it's just because it's a great genre, and there's so many areas to country music. You've got you got country and western, you got country music, you got this outlaw country, you've got Southern country rock blues, the sort of area we fall into. There's so many areas to it. So, that's fantastic in itself, that there's so much variety there, And, you got people like Miley Cyrus started off as a country artist, and Shania Twain, she broke through.
It's over.
Yeah.
Her sister Noah is actually a big folk kind of a country artist. I actually like Noah. Her sister likes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Neither did I. We'll have to listen then, won't we?
We saw her on YouTube some time ago, didn't we? And she was Miley was doing like a version of Zeppelin's Black Dog.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was brilliant though, wasn't it? What a voice.
And then she was doing something with Billy Idol, White Wedding.
Yes.
It was good.
Great performer.
Yeah, it's rock and roll. I mean, this is what it's all about. Keep being a rock and roller, whatever genre you're in.
Absolutely.
You only live once, so enjoy it.
You're right, and we only have 1 minute, guys. So in 1 minute, where can everyone find you?
You can find us at www.richiedaveporter.co.uk, and Ritchie Dave Porter and Deborah Susan have an official YouTube channel. So do look up Ritchie Dave Porter and Deborah Susan on our official YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, and there's also a Ritchie Dave Porter X account. X used to be Twitter. So there's Ritchie Dave Porter, Deborah Susan on X. There's Ritchie Dave Porter, Deborah Susan on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube's a really important one.
Yeah, we're trying to promote YouTube more.
Do subscribe.
Facebook goes one day.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook's Facebook, isn't it? It has its moments where, if you post a radio show, you're violating community standards.
Right. I post YouTube every week about all of that. But thank you so guys for staying awake and having up. You guys, I mean, talking to tell you had about 3 cups of coffee before you came on the show.
Definitely. And we'll have a whiskey, I think, when we finish.
Awesome. So you guys,
thank you so much.
1 second. And again, thanks for being on the ranch. We are here every Monday, 7 Eastern New York time, and we'll catch you then.
Thanks for having us.
It's been wonderful. Really love it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's hang out.